What's up? What's up? Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to work this from my phone. Let's see where we at. Hopefully I can like move this maybe. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me clear? Press 1 if you can hear me clear. Let's see. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Cool. 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 All right. All right. All right. We're gonna wait a minute. Just I need to get like at least 10 people in here. I'm looking over here. I'm trying to figure out how to like look at the messages that pop up or the comments because I can't see it on my phone. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see. YouTube makes it so difficult just to freaking go live. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right? You guys flipping phones or what? Are you guys? If you started, then press 1. If you are still thinking about starting, press 2. I want to see like who's actually started. Give me 1 more second. Nobody started? None of you guys started yet? Wow. All right, we're good. We're good. I think I can see. I'm gonna wait like 1 more minute, just like 1 more minute. We got 4 people watching so far. We need to get. Look, we got 5. We got 5. All right, so we're going. Let me see. We're gonna see. We got a good amount of people. You know, people are gonna start rolling in later, but I'm doing a Q&A. So this is a live Q&A. Ask whatever you want. You know, whether it's phones, whatever you want to ask, just ask in the comments. I'm gonna try to answer as much as I can in this hour that I have. I'm kind of pressed for time. You know, I got a guy trying to sell me some phones, and I told him to hold off. So he's waiting to leave the house to meet me. But I'm gonna get this out of the way so you guys shoot. You guys can go ahead and ask questions and stuff like that. It's just an open Q&A. So yeah, go for it. And I'm gonna be looking here because the comments don't stay up. So the first question is, how much of a commission does eBay take from your sale? So eBay takes 10%. eBay takes it's 10% out of each sale, and then if you're dealing with PayPal, you have to pay that 3% fee. It's like 2.9%, but I just say 3%, and that's that. So you take 13% of what you can sell that phone for, and you know, include your shipping costs, and then that's how much you're left with, so you know what to offer. So 10% for eBay, 3% for PayPal. Let's see what else we got here. I need to keep these comments up. I wonder if I can press this. that's not it. All right, anyway, I'm gonna just keep looking over here then. Johnny T says, was it hard to get leads and deals when you lived in San Diego? I live close in LA and I'm having a hard time getting deals here. Actually, it was very easy getting leads in San Diego. I got a bunch of leads in San Diego, actually. I feel like the more populated the area, the more people will contact you. Um, what I do notice about the big populated areas is that it is a bit harder to, um, you know, close deals because there's more than five different flippers, and 9 times out of 10 there's somebody out there who's dealing overseas and they can pay top dollar. So the goal that I try to do, or I try to tell you guys to do, is if you close that deal and they say yes, try to meet up as soon as possible, because you don't want to give them time to fish around and ask other flippers, because 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to be paying better than you, regardless of if it's me, if it's anybody who's flipping phones. There's somebody out there that's going to pay more. Let's see. So yeah, LA should be pretty easy getting leads, man. I haven't tested the market. I know a couple people in LA who are doing this, and I mean honestly, it should be easy getting leads in LA. Closing it, making sure you're on top of actually meeting up with them as soon as possible. That's important because again, somebody's gonna come across and um, most likely take your deal because they can pay more. So meet them ASAP. Elijah, what are the best devices to sell right now? iPhones, all iPhones. Me right now, I'm personally selling iPhone X, excuse me, 7 through X. So that's doing well for me. Six pluses and 6S pluses in my area doing well. But iPhone sell like they're gonna sell. I live in Connecticut and I find it hard to get a lot of leads. What should I do? Just keep posting. Keep posting. Figure out what time of day works best for your area. You know, um, for me, it's a bit different for me. I'll like on the weekends, I have to post early. I have to post early in the day because if I post like on a Saturday, if I'm posting at around um, let's say 8 p.m., I'm not gonna get many leads because people are out. They're doing stuff. Some areas, 8 o'clock might be your sweet spot on the weekends. You just gotta figure out what works the best for you, and that's how you get your lead. Don't just post randomly. You have to have a strategy to understand. If you're getting leads, if you're getting more leads this time or this time, you got to figure that out on your own. But my advice to you, Elijah, is just to keep posting, consistently post. Don't be discouraged by not getting any leads. Just keep posting. You're gonna come across some people who want to sell you phones, and sometimes what I've noticed is once you get a good amount of ads out, it becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot easier. So just keep on posting. Thanks for answering and sharing, brother. No problem, Johnny. No problem. I probably just suck at negotiating. What we all started somewhere. I wasn't a good negotiator at first. Um, and I just figured out what works. I figured out how to say things and different wording and stuff like that. And I feel like that's just came from experience. Me doing this for so long, and me going through the times where I've gotten cursed out, I've gotten called names or whatever. I went through all those different ups and downs of negotiating, and I figured out how to talk to people, what to say in certain situations, and that helps out a lot because it's weird to think about it, but certain things you say, it goes it goes a long way, whether it is polite or whatever. There's certain things you say, it helps out, and I've noticed that a lot. Do you flip phones full time? This be done in Hawaii? Yeah, I do flip full time. Hawaii, I've never. I mean, I don't know about. It all depends. I mean, if Hawaii has like all the different platforms, I'm sure it does. I mean, Facebook, you need all that. Um, Different platforms. It works. It pretty much works anywhere in the U.S. Um, so yeah, now if we were talking about like um, Pakistan or something like that, it's tough. It'd be tough there. But yeah, in the states, I know Canada works well. Australia works well. The UK works well. Um, you know, Flipping phones works in a lot of areas, a lot of different areas. What other questions do we have? Let's see. Okay. Johnny T, thanks, bro. It doesn't matter how dead a city or town is. I mean, that has something to do with it. I mean, again, um, the leads that you're gonna get when it comes to big cities, like, I mean, obviously, if you're in San Diego or something, or San Francisco, and you're getting 60, 70 leads a day from all your different platforms, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot easier to to close because you have all those different chances. But what's best, when it comes to those smaller towns, what you should be doing is just focusing on the close. Obviously, that's the most important part of it. But at the same time, trying not to go for a home run deal. I see a lot of people just you know lowballing. They lowball, which is good. You always start low. You lowball, and then they don't have any. They don't move up. They don't go up in price. You lowball, you say $200 for iPhone 7 Plus. And they say no thanks, and then you say okay, thank you. You just leave it at that. I start low and work my way up. I have an idea of how much I should be making or how much I want to make on this particular deal, and I work my way up in price. Don't just give up on the deal. Once they say no thanks, when they decline, you come back with a question, like what were you thinking, or um, what did you have in mind for the price? And then you might be close to that price. If you were offering 200 and they wanted 250, and if you still bought it at 250, you're still making $80. Then that's it. So when you're in those little towns, um, you have to focus on closing pretty much every deal. You have to try to close every deal. Um, and when I mean by that, I mean if you have to sacrifice $40 to make $50 in profit on the phone, that adds up. That adds up over time. But yeah, it can definitely be done anywhere you live in the U.S. for sure. And I was thinking about something like that to where I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys about that. Hey, I'm in this area. I can't make this work. I want to be able to just go to small areas, make some kind of series where I go to different areas and just show you guys that it works. You know, I can show you. I can stay there for a week, show you guys that it does work. You know, with the right technique and everything, it does work. So you know that I think that would be a pretty good series to do. Just because I've been getting a lot of different messages from people saying, this is not working for me. This is not working for me, and I know it does. I know it can work. You know, no problem, Johnny. No problem. What else? What else we got for questions? What else we got for questions? I want this to be like rapid fire. Let me look to see if more questions are there. Nope. Come on. Let's get some questions. Let's get some questions. All right. What job did you work before you got into flipping? Well, let's start. And so the beginning, when I first started, I worked at a place, a clothing store called Hollister. So this is a store in the mall. You know, it's a pretty popular store in California. Worked there. I did the night shift. I did the night shift because I didn't like interacting with people at all. At the time, I did not like interacting with people. I saw how some people treated um, those, in retail. I just felt like people didn't treat people in retail, those who worked in retail, well, and I didn't want to go through that. I didn't want to go through getting yelled at by customers because of something that I can't control. So I did the night shift there, and all I did pretty much was fold clothes and get the store ready for the morning crew. So I did that. Stopped working there after a year. Just played football in college and got here to Idaho when I transferred and started working at the YMCA. So I had an internship at the YMCA for my business degree, and they offered me a job, which I took. Worked there for a year, and I was still flipping phones throughout this entire part. So, yeah, it got to a point where I was at the YMCA, not for the actual pay, the check. I was just doing it because I enjoyed being around kids and stuff like that. So I was flipping phones like pretty much full time, even though I had like a job, I was working like 5 hours a day at the YMCA. So I was closing deals at the YMCA in the bathroom when I was so that's what I was doing. And yeah, that's what I did before. I never was one to just work for somebody. That's just not what I do. Um, do you ever plan on flipping bigger items, cars, houses? I want to get into wholesaling real estate. I need to I don't know. For me, I don't want to stop flipping phones, like to just focus on wholesaling because it's a lot of money that's a lot of money that I'm losing out on. So I do need to just figure out how to manage my time and focus on those things while still maintaining good cash flow with phones. So I do want to flip or wholesale houses eventually. Cars, I thought about doing that as well. And all that's gonna come with time. All that's gonna come with time for sure. What's your rent like? Rent is cheap. Rent is rent is under 1,000. I'll say that. How high in the bathroom, boss? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. When I was closing deals in the bathroom, what this is what I did. So basically what I did was I took a gallon of water every single day to work. You know, um, just this is the plan. Take a gallon of water to work, and so when I do have to use the bathroom, it wouldn't be like question like why is this guy using the bathroom so much? They know I'm drinking a lot of water, which means I need to go to the bathroom, which means I can go hide in one of the stalls and close deals. Set up times and stuff after work. So I did that and almost got caught a couple times by my manager. Um, but yeah, it all worked out good at the end of the day. But that's what I did. I did that for a while, and then I just realized like I'm kind of wasting time here, or not really wasting, but because I was doing it for the kids, whatever. But I was just like, man, I could be doing a lot more with these phones because everything was flowing, good. It was flowing, and I decided to just stop working at the Y. You know, they still message me telling me to come back, but I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Brandon says, thoughts on selling on Mercari for new sellers. Do it, man. I just started selling on Mercari. You know, I was kind of skeptical about it at first, you know, just because I went on it a couple times and just I saw a bunch of new accounts. So I saw a bunch of people selling phones and was like, you know, this is crazy. They're selling these phones for cheap. I was seeing iPhone X's on there for $400. And I was like, this is a scam site. You know, I really don't want to deal with this. And didn't know how the whole selling worked. So I sold a couple items on there already. I think I have about 11 reviews right now, and you know, 5-star everything. Everything's been going pretty well for Mercari. You know, the fees are cheaper than eBay, but what I did notice is that phones don't sell as fast on Mercari. You're waiting a couple days unless your price is just ridiculously low. That's what I've noticed though. So yeah, go ahead and sell on Mercari, Brandon. Vegetarian Dons, what sale did you get burned on? What sale did I get burned on? I don't understand that question. I'm still trying to figure that out. I got burned on a sale at Mercari. What else we got? What more questions? More questions. We need more questions. Bought the course but haven't finished yet. So maybe this is covered later, but how? I don't understand the last part, Gregory. Let me see. Josie, what's going on? Good evening to you too. How do you inspect new inbox items like iPhone X to make sure it's not fake? Open the box. Do not, if you're new at this, do not buy sealed phones. If you're new at this, if you're new, do not buy it. You know, I try to tell people all the time, don't buy sealed phones. Yeah, you're gonna lose a bit more money on, you know, when you open it, but just don't buy it. Okay, I wish I had a sealed phone. I do have a sealed phone. Hold on, let me get the sealed phone really quick. So one of the number one things you need to look for is this. Look for this green arrow, right? And then just like most other items, let me see if I can show you this. I don't want to show you the IMEI. Anyway, but I don't know if you guys can see. I'm gonna try to make sure I can show you guys. Can you guys see that? You see what it says? FCCID, all that different stuff on the back. Fake phones don't have that. I seen that. Fake phones don't have that. Read this. If you're really skeptical, read all this. I noticed a lot of fakes have misspelled words here. I saw a fake the wrong time and date. This says Tuesday, September 12th, 9:41. So make sure it actually has that. You know, I saw one that said September 10th. I saw one that misspelled Tuesday wrong. You know, there's a lot of different things. You just, you know, if you really need help, there's a bunch of different videos on YouTube to check out. Ton of different videos, so you can check those out. You know, but for the most part, just open it. You know, if you're skeptical about it, just open it. Take that little hit in the price, but you're safe. At the end of the day, you're safe. You can turn it on. You can make sure the camera and everything is fine. You can make sure the app store is there. You can make sure that, you know, the phone is actually the phone. There's some crappy fakes out right now. And there's some pretty good fakes, but you just have to, if you need that help, watch videos. Videos will tell you exactly what to look for, and actually show you, on the phone. So go ahead and do that if you need extra help, but always open it. Brandon says, do you advise new sellers to sell locally? Here, I advise all sellers, new, um, you know, advanced sellers, sell on all platforms. You know, I don't like to limit myself. I don't like to limit myself to where I'm selling. I'm selling on currently right now, eBay, Swappa, Mercari, local. When I say local, I mean Marketplace, OfferUp, Let Go, Craigslist. I'm selling on every platform because I understand that. Um, you need to get those items out there. Don't just limit yourself to one platform. Oh, I'm gonna sell on SwapUp just because I don't like eBay. Okay, well, where are you gonna sell your crack screen phones? eBay. You know, where are you gonna sell your high valued phones? Local. So you got to utilize these different platforms to your advantage, and just don't just be focused on one platform. You know, and I tell this to everybody: don't focus on one platform. Just utilize all platforms. It's going to make it a lot easier. You're going to sell a lot faster when you do that. But always have in mind before you make that initial offer where you're going to sell this phone. So don't you know um, buy an item expecting to sell it on Mercari, and then you end up listing it on eBay, and then you don't make as much money because of fees and all that. So make sure you understand where you're going to sell the item first before you make that offer, but utilize all platforms. Got it. Thanks. No problem, Gregory. What else? What other questions we got? Knowledge. Thank you, Brandon. Has it been slow for the last 2 weeks? Honestly, no, it hasn't. I took a week off just recently, so just last week I took the week off. Where I wasn't really posting. I had family over, so I just wanted to focus on that. Uh, but it hasn't been slow for sure. It definitely hasn't been slow. I've been doing a lot of selling, so haven't been doing much buying. But these last 2 weeks, I sold a good amount of items. So soccer productions, it hasn't been slow for me selling wise. I didn't buy last week. I maybe bought a couple phones last week, but I wasn't really focused on just buying, buying, buying. But to me, it hasn't been that slow. Are you looking forward to the Apple event tomorrow? Eh, I'm just looking forward to making money off of the phone. So I probably will watch a little bit of it. I'm not an Apple fan. I don't like Apple products. I like MacBooks. Okay, I'll say I like MacBooks. iPads are cool. I'm not an iPhone guy, so um, yeah. I mean, I watched a little bit of it. I'm not gonna be all hyped about the different features of the phone. Um, but I'm gonna be hyped when they release, and I rake up on the profits on those. I got so many good leads than people. I got so many. Oh, there we go. I got so many good leads and people stop answering. You know why? When do they stop answering? You got to figure out. When they stop answering. They can stop answering. Um, Man, some people forget. They can stop answering because they forgot, or they can stop answering because your offer was too low. There's You got to figure out. Where in the conversation they stop answering. And what I always do, I always follow up. Always follow up regardless. If they say no, follow up. Say, hey, just sell that phone. No, I still have it. I can still offer this price if you want to do it today. And they could have called you names 2 days ago and came back. I recently had a guy do that. He said I was on crack because I offered I think it was 150 for his 7 Plus. It had a cracked screen, so that's weird. But he said I was on crack, and just 2 days ago, he messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, um, I still have that phone if you want to buy it." So I said, "Okay, this was a while ago, so I can offer you 140." And he's like, "Well, you said 150," and I'm like, "Well, prices go down," and he didn't do it. He didn't end up doing it, but they come back. The whole point I'm trying to make is they come back, um, and you got to follow up. Always follow up with anybody. You use 5 Miles app. In my area, soccer productions, in my area, it does not work. 5 Mile does not work at all. I know in Texas, I know a lot of people who flip phones in Texas. It works well, you know, but my area it just doesn't work. I'll go on 5 Mile, refresh it, and there'll be in the first page will be stuff from like 3, 4 weeks ago. So nobody's active on there in my area. But you try it out. Hey, Khalid, at this point, you are so far in this business, you can buy at local competitors. How's the Caldwell competition market? It's apparently easier to get phones for cheaper, but locally cheap. So I mean, that's my goal. When it comes to doing this, um, I want to buy from. There's a couple flippers in my area, so my goal is buy from flippers in my area, which I do. I do this all the time, but I want to buy from all flippers in my area. There's like two other guys that haven't that don't want to team up, like kind of team up with me as far as just sending me the phones they get. But that is the main goal for sure. But like he says, in my area, it's cheaper to get phones. I think I can pick up phones pretty cheap in my area. But selling locally is tough because you know people don't want to spend a certain amount of money. So I'll be selling iPhone 7 Pluses for like 350, unlocked 32 gigabytes, and it take a while to sell because people just they don't buy it. They're just cheap. Same. Do you use boxes? Yeah, I use a lot of boxes. Let me see if I can find one. So yeah, I mean, I keep boxes. I got like maybe 30 or 40 boxes I keep, and those work well for local. So I just add a charger, put them in a box, and list it like that. It just seems better. People like the boxes more. They feel like they're getting more out of it. You throw in a charger and the wall adapter, and they feel like they're getting more out of it. So um, always do that if you can. Ended up getting. I want to tell you guys about this deal. So I was actually vlogging today, and and realized that all the videos that I created, um, the microphone was turned off. So, but what I want to tell you guys is this: I ended up picking up some phones today. I'm gonna show you guys. So I ended up picking up 5 6 Pluses unlocked. Some are 16 gig and some are 64 gig. But the guy sold me these for 70 a piece. And the crazy thing about it is he works. He's manager at this place. They wipe devices and stuff like that, and they also buy from businesses. Businesses around the world sends them um, their old devices, and they either recycle them or sell them, recycle or sell them. And this guy found my Craigslist ad, and he reached out to me, and he sold me these for 70 a piece, $70 a piece. So that's gonna be some good profit. And the main thing he told me, what I want to go over with you guys really quick, is um, he asked me if I can buy in bulk. So I usually don't buy sixes. that much anymore, you know. But I figured this would be a good opportunity because I saw where he worked. He told me where he worked, and I looked it up and saw what kind of company it was. And I was right. It was a big company that has a bunch of devices. They have. He showed me the warehouse. It literally has, you know, like 800 laptops. You know, I saw a ton of phones that they were wiping. You know, and apparently this company is like one of the few companies who can just wipe the entire devices. Like MacBooks wipe, iPhones wipe, regardless of what's on it, they can wipe them. And I didn't know that existed. So I made that connection today, and I was doubting of even doing this because I had to drive, you know, round trip an hour. But I figured this might be a good, um, you know, a good thing to do because I can formulate some kind of business with this guy, and that happened. So, moral of the story, guys, regardless of, you know, whatever situation is, be sure to understand that if somebody's saying, "Hey, I work for this company here. We're getting rid of our phones. We have a bunch of iPhone 5s." You know, you might not buy iPhone 5s anymore, but you see that this person is selling you, let's say, 12 iPhone 5s for a good price where you can still profit on, but you still buy them because you understand that this can lead to something more. These 5s can turn into 7s. You know, in a couple of months, they can turn to 7s. He can say, "Hey, I have 12 iPhone 7s." 2 months later, "Hey, I have 12 iPhone 8 pluses." So that's why I actually went. This is why you guys should understand that it's important to do business with other businesses, regardless of the situation. If, you know, because the whole goal is to have repeat customers. You want repeat business all the time, and that's the goal. So just wanted to get that out of the way and let you guys know that whatever the case may be, just you're dealing with a business that can potentially get more devices, then just do it. How much should we pay for Verizon X's? Um, so the thing is, guys, when it comes to that, that's one question I don't like. I do not like the how much should we pay. I'll tell you how to do it. Go on eBay, look up sold listings, and find a median as far as figure out what these phones are selling for consistently, and then pick that number. But that's the basics of it. Next level. So congrats. So you're basically a wholesaler now. It gives you such a huge advantage if you can offer 255 even at 2. I need to get in office and be idle and buy in quantity. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. But for me, you know, I have this room that I do all my stuff in. I'm probably, you know, need a bigger space. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that when it comes to it, when you're buying, quantity is just as good as, you know, making um, big chunks of profit on a couple units. So, you know, I figure if I got a bunch of quantity, I can move them fast. You know, buy 40 units, ship out 40 units, make a profit. I could do that consistently, a couple times a month, and that's in my opinion easier. Uh, do you think it's worth getting cheaper or older phones, or mainly focus on the Galaxies and iPhones? It all depends on your capital, man. You know, if you got it, then buy whatever you can to make money. Um, I don't like when I first started. I wasn't how I am now. As far as now, I'm iPhones, Galaxies only. I might throw in some LGs for a good price, but back then when I first started, I bought everything. I need to get my capital up. So I was buying everything that I could that was worth, you know, buying for me, and that helped me with get my capital up. I was getting my capital up like that because I wasn't passing up on deals because it wasn't the right model for me, or you know what I'm saying. So don't limit yourself when you're first starting out. Hey, dude, love your work. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Brandon says 1,000 for a course. I don't know what course you're talking about. My course isn't 1,000. What is up with sealed AT&T 256 iPhone X's? I don't know. Do you fix iCloud phones? No. Don't fix them. Don't fix them. What else we got? What else? Other questions? Got 20 minutes left. I want to get like 20 questions in. How do you do your taxes? So I track everything. I track everything that I buy, how much I paid, how much I made, and I take all that information to my CPA. He does all the work. We go over the numbers together, and that's it. So taxes are simple, guys. It's not much. You know, the only bad like downfall about the taxes is like me being self-employed. Um, you know, that's the only bad thing about it. You know, because when you're working for somebody, they take the taxes out. Each paycheck, so you have nothing to worry about. But for me, I have to like track everything, and then when tax time is here, I gotta pay a lot of money. So like this past year, I paid a ton of money back to IRS. So you get a bill of sale for everything, yeah. So bill of sale for everything. I make sure I track it on my phone. I have like an Excel spreadsheet that I use that I track everything that I buy, everything that I sold, and what you made after the fees. You don't want to put in, what you made before fees because you're gonna be paying more in taxes. So make sure you calculate that after, and then you put your profit in there. Uh, all the seal phones have the Apple flap and green sticker. Yeah, it's pathetic. I just blocked local so they can't see my ad. So they can't see my ad, and I was trying to buy a seal off this one guy, but not open. So yeah, I mean, if you're buying sealed, that's just a risk you have to take. If you're not going to open it, that's just a risk you have to take. Um, Look on the box, make sure those are all the hints that I just went over. Make sure that they have those. But again, it's a risk. It is a risk buying sealed phones. People can open the phone and reseal it. There's tons of different ways you can do these things. So it is a risk that you buy them sealed. Um, you know, so I mean, if you're gonna be buying phones sealed and you don't have that to lose, like let's say you buy 3 iPhone X's sealed, let's say for $600 a piece. If you don't have $1,800 to lose, then it's not worth it. So if you can't lose $1,800 and still be fine with your business, then it's not worth it. If $1,800 is gonna hurt your pockets like that, then just open it. Has anyone ever tried to rob you? No, I've never had that happen. One time, this was years ago. Um, I wasn't the smartest when it came to meet up. I would meet people outside and in the parking lot, and that's what that is. But nothing really happened like that. It just sometimes people do like crazy things. Like if I'm in my car, I had one guy who told me he was here, and I told him what car I was in, um, which I shouldn't have did that, but I didn't see him. But he opened the car door, opened my car door, and at the time I was like looking down on my phone, like looking at the message. He opened the car door and was about to come sit in the car, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna sit in. I'm like, no, let me get out. So that happened. I don't think he was gonna rob me or anything, but because we did business after that, a couple times. But that's the closest I got to a sketchy situation. Um, I try to keep it, inside nowadays. People are crazy, but nothing like crazy. I don't. Some of these stories that I hear in the groups, I don't know how I would have to handle that, but a lot of people get robbed. Um, it's in different areas. It's bad. So Hey, good question. Do you sell iCloud, iPhone, iPads? iClouds come here and there. It all depends, man. It all depends on um, who I'm getting it from. iCloud, business to business deals. I'll do that. I kind of strayed away from buying iCloud from just people who reply to my ads, just because just you thinking in the back of your head like this phone could possibly be like stolen. A lot of times for businesses, they get phones in, um, and people like either leave them, or they don't come back to pick, they repair a phone, they don't come back to pick up the phone up, and that's it. So a lot of the phones that I do that I would buy that's iCloud would be from other businesses, like other repair shops. Just because it's just more of a trust. I know they're not going around stealing phones. So, but yeah, it's I don't buy that much. It just happens every once in a while. I'm being ignored. Um, I'm not trying to ignore you, man. I'm just going through different questions. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different websites to look at. I mean, Google is your friend, man. I'm not gonna call them, but Google is your friend. And watch my previous videos. I go through pretty much everything in the videos. You gotta watch them. How was August? It was a slow month for so many people. I'm starting to pick stuff up. Let's see. I think August sales was not as good as July. I think it was around like 35,000 in sales. Um, and that not bad, but for me August was slow because I took off a lot of time. So I took off. I went back to San Diego for a week, and took some time off after that. So um, you know, good month, decent month, but I wouldn't say slow. It was good while I was working. Let's see. What kind of camera do you use for your videos? So I just recently got a new camera, guys, and I'm glad I got it because the video quality is so much better. But it's I'm trying to look for it, but it's a Canon EOS M50, and so glad I got the camera because it's making the videos look a lot better. But and a lot of people are commenting about the quality, so um, glad I got the camera. Do you just sell phones or other things too? For phones, other small things, yeah, here and there. Phones is the main focus, though. I'm not Sergio, so if I can find a deal on something else, I'll buy it and resell it. But for the most part, phones is where it's at for me. Um, eventually it'll get bigger. It'll get bigger. I rarely buy like laptops. I rarely buy those just because I don't come across them. I put laptops in my ads. I buy MacBook ads, but I don't get anybody wanting to sell me theirs. Um, do you have any other side hustles? So again, back to the other question, Johnny. You know, not many other side hustles. I'm getting started into doing some other things on the side, like more like passive. I don't have much time to just um, really dive in and focus on another business venture. Once I kind of get this phone flipping stuff, or this portion of my career, whatever you want to call it. Once I kind of get to where I'm getting phones, but I'm getting them to where I'm not, I don't have to post ads. So people are contacting me with just multiple phones, or they're sending phones in to me. I'll send my price sheet out to a couple people, and they'll send me phones. This week, well, not this week, it's Tuesday, but maybe like the last 5 days, I got 3 million. So that's kind of one of the main goals. Also, is just to get phones mailed into you. Do less work. Actually going out and meeting people. Still pretty solid. So yeah, I've been doing the mail-ins as well. You know, and again, you gotta have good customer service when you're doing that. Uh, have you ever thought of being a notary public as an additional side hustle? You know, Josh, I heard about that. You know, actually, my dad was telling me about that business, and I looked into it. And you know, was getting a lot of mixed signals about it. I didn't know much about it, and I haven't since then learned more about how it works. But you know, I heard it's a good side business to have. Oh yeah, so yeah, phone flipping is not gonna die. Um, I'm telling you guys, it's only getting better. Do you still recommend refurbished phones on eBay? So yeah, I'll buy refurbished phones on eBay and sell locally, no problem, no issues yet. Um, and yeah, so if you can find good deals on refurbished devices on eBay, then go ahead and buy them. Uh, how do you work that mail-in service out? The basics. So what I do is, so I have a price sheet. So just like how I do with my buyer has a price sheet. I go off of his prices. I try to make my prices as close to his as possible. So I'm getting phones from different flippers at at pretty good prices that I'm buying them at, and then just selling to him. When I get mail-ins, guys, profit margins are low, so keep that in mind. Profit margins are very low. It's all about quantity. So the goal is to have quantity, because you have to be able to pay a good amount. You can't just be making 150 bucks each phone, because then nobody's gonna sell to you because your prices are too low. So if you're making like 50 bucks, 40, 50 bucks a phone, um, that's not bad, because you're gonna have repeat business, and yeah, so that's the basics. It's not much to it. You do the PayPal invoice, pay, and then that's it. Also, phones are expensive. People buy used phones. Hey, my phone's about to die. I just want to say thanks again for answering my question. No problem. No problem. That's what I'm here for, to answer these questions. Ah, you finally came. Yeah, I was having difficulties with my laptop. I was trying to do it on my laptop, but my laptop and YouTube does not get along. Ever thought about opening a repair shop so you can get some real estate that you can offer trade-ins, and it's just pay some employees to repair full time? Honestly, I don't have any desire to open up a store, open up a repair shop. Um, you know, just because I just enjoy phone flipping because good money and the freedom. So I don't want to be stuck at a shop, um, you know, because that's going to happen. I'll be stuck at a shop for a little bit, and I don't like to do that. I just like to do my own thing. I'm not really. Um, I just don't want to have a shop. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to do the whole shop thing. My battery is low, so hold on. Uh, Anyways, we got 6 minutes left. Let me see how much battery I have left. Okay, anyway. So yeah, no shop for me. Last question on mailings. Are you sending rejected devices back to senders? So yeah, um, for like my price sheet or whatever, I make sure the points that I make is, if the phone is not as described, then there's going to be some deductions. Or if you send me a phone that's not on the price sheet, or that is faulty or whatever, then I can send that back. I can either send that back to you, or message you and give you a new price. So I haven't had anybody selling me phones that it was not the same or not as described. That's just because and then it's easier that way, just because these are other flippers who are selling to you. So um, most likely these phones are going to be inspected. All that is going to be done beforehand because they don't want to lose money on their initial buy. So they inspect it and you inspect it. For the most part, these phones are in good condition and everything. And also PayPal, if they were not described, I could just, and they don't want to do the deduction, or they don't want me to send the phone back, I can always just open up a case and go from there. So let's see. Yeah, I want to make a living selling phones. For me, it's fun. I mean, you can, Jay. You can make so much money with this business. And I always tell people this, man. I'm just scratching the surface still. I know there's more. I could be doubling my profits in this business. What I'm making now, I can double that. I know that for sure. Someone just texted me with an iPhone 6 and iPad. Both don't turn on. I don't buy those. I would not buy any DOA devices. Um, I don't buy anything that's not working. How much does a kiosk cost? I have no idea. Pretty sure in some areas it's pricey. If certain malls or areas have a lot of foot traffic, then they're gonna be charging you an arm and a leg for rent for you to be there. eBay is such a hassle. I got mailed back packing peanuts. Yeah, I mean, I see. I've never had those issues. A lot of people are having those issues where or some people I've seen on different groups, are having issues where people are sending back lotion, or they'll send back something that's not the phone. I've never had that, and I've had returns. I've had returns. I've never had that. I don't understand how that happens. Huh, that's weird. Both clean, but may have iCloud. Yeah, I don't even deal with anything that's not working. I used to buy non-working phones, and was a pain. It was so much of a pain. That's where most of my returns came from. You know, I couldn't check everything. So, and at the time I was buying those years ago, I didn't know anything about GSX reports and these different websites where you can just insert the IMEI and they'll give you all the information. I did not know about that. Let's see. We got a minute and 30 seconds left. Let's try to get some rapid fire questions in. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I lost like 2K. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so that's a valid point right there. Um, you know, when you're first starting out, it's rough. It's rough. I'm not gonna lie, it's rough. Luckily nowadays, there's a lot more resources where you can check different YouTube channels and stuff. YouTubers have videos about phone flipping. There's different groups, tons of different stuff. That you can look out for that helps out. If you had $600 to start, what would you buy? Anything I can make a profit on. Any tips or services to check finance? To check just IMEI checkers, carrier checkers work just like they work better as far as checking for finance. What do you think about flipping working phones that have cracked screens? Working iPhones that have cracked screens are probably the best phones to flip. Do you have a bill of sale in your training? Yes, I do. Ever consider moving to a bigger city? Nope. And if I do, um, I'm still gonna flip phones, but I can move back to San Diego. But at the same time, I'm at a point where I'm in Idaho, and I've made a name for myself here. So um, people go to me or they tag me in different posts because they know I buy and sell. So I've established a pretty good What do you say? People recognize me. I have some. I do business. I've been doing business here for so long. People have seen me and they recommend me to other people. Who I'm trying to say. I'm trying to go through this fast. I live 45 minutes from Los Angeles. There you go. So yeah, it's been over an hour, guys. I have to meet somebody. Honestly, let's see, it's 7:40. I had to meet somebody, maybe like 20 minutes. In 20 minutes right now. So I'm gonna end this here. And Timothy, look in the description, guys. The courses, all that is in there. But I'm gonna end this here. Appreciate everybody for watching. We got a good amount of people watching on this one. Thanks for the support, everybody. I really enjoy you guys, commenting on my videos. Let me know what you guys want to hear or want to see in the videos. All that helps a lot with the channel. It helps me understand what you guys want to see. So continue to do that. And I got to head out to meet this guy. So I'll see you guys in the next one.